Hello! Been a while since I've talked in a storytime explanation video, with it being just me. So I hope you peeps like what I've got planned for today. This is an old series, it's already been cancelled, and I no longer talk to the person who helped me out with this regarding the art and some of the characters. So, let's talk about my series, Broken Moon. I made Broken Moon the summer after 8th grade, and I did it with my friends Anu and Casey. Y'all remember Casey? Yeah, she made an appearance in my How I Met Anu video. She helped me a lot with some of the designs and the characters and the art in the episodes. I did all the scripting and character personality designs though, and I did a majority of the character physical designs as well. I'll get into why it was cancelled later. For now, let's get into the storyline. Okay, so the story of Broken Moon follows the POV of Ivory, a female wolf who was adopted by another pack of wolves after she was found in the woods. Ivory grew up with her adopted brother Excalibur and his judgmental family. In the beginning of episode 1, Ivory is wanting to leave and try to find her pack, or at least her family, and at least a better life. Excalibur is upset over this because the next day he gets to pick his mate and become leader of his pack. No, he wasn't going to pick Ivory, that's messed up. Despite Excalibur's parents being jerks to Ivory, he was always nice to her and developed a genuine sibling-like affection towards her. Ivory left that night and walked all until morning, where she found a blind she-wolf caught in a snare. Ivory rescued her and knew her to be called Aspen. Aspen was supposed to be this healer, knowledgeable type who was wise and calm and everything. I don't really think I met my goal with her in character development anyway. I was younger and rushed the series a lot, so the storyline wasn't progressed in a timely manner, nor were the characters developed in a way you could relate and learn to love them without getting overwhelmed or annoyed at the story or characters and how dramatic and exaggerated or repetitive story events were. So conveniently, the two were both on search for their families and or a better living environment, and chose to travel together so they at least won't be alone on their travels. Quite frankly, Aspen shouldn't be alone anyway. She's blind. They find a cave and nightfall arrives. The two settle down to sleep and look further on in the morning. Of course, since I want the development and less spice to be cooked in this delicious story of stew, I made Ivory wake up in the middle of the night. Just gonna say now, Ivory's parents are dead, and the spirit of her mother came to warn her and wake her up, but it's a spirit and can't talk to her because Ivory isn't asleep, nor is she possessing a certain object to see spirits where the plot calls for it. Ivory follows the stream silently passing by the cave and sees a shiny red stone. She touches the gem and she becomes possessed with her eye pupils turning red and the stone sinking into her chest, replacing her heart, as the stone was now her new way of living. I originally had 4 stones made, an earth stone, a time stone, a blood stone, and I can't remember what the blue one's name was, and I can't remember if I named the green one earth stone or life stone. Either way, Ivory now possesses the bloodstone. The spirit of the first user of the stone resides in the stone and can talk to the present user, and the present user can see the spirit form of the resider, but no one else can. A male wolf comes out named Alador, who is obviously evil due to the red spirit outline that I always drew him in. Derp. He tells Ivory that this is her new life now. She has to kill to stay alive, and that if the bloodstone doesn't get its fair share of blood, not only will it cause her to have angry outbursts, with the stone being the root of it, but it will continue to do so until it sucks Ivory's blood away from her and kills her, basically destroying her from the inside. Alador can also control her, but I'm pretty sure I only wrote that in the script for one scene because Ivory didn't know what to do, and Alador just did it because by that time he developed care for her, and this is important for later details. No, it's not some weird love plot. After Alador berates her for not knowing and accepting that she has to kill in order to live now, and Ivory being understandably against that, she runs back to the cave and calms herself, and falls back asleep. End of episode 1. Cut to morning, our 2 she-wolves are awakened by 2 other voices. 2 new characters, a she-wolf named Arya, who is smaller than average, but feisty, and a half-German shepherd, half-wolf character, who Ivory designed and named Copper. Ivory is a bigger than normal wolf. Aspen is bigger than Arya, but smaller than Ivory. She was my quote-unquote average height portrayal for a normal wolf. Arya and Copper surprised to see newcomers in a cave they previously slept in. Don't ask why they weren't in the cave that night before, they just weren't. Due to some past trauma, Copper developed a cowardice, scared personality. Later they give that up as he grows some backbone to protect the new wolves he loves as family. He tells Arya that they were in a cave, and as fate would have it, Arya and Ivory look at each other and blush to signify a budding romance, because I wanted them to be a thing, but I wanted people to know that they were canon shit by doing that. Regardless, Ivory and Arya square up to each other, being intimidating at first, but then back down a bit as they seem to not be looking for the same thing, but aren't looking to fight for power either.
Quick thing about Arya and Copper's backstory real quick. Copper
Was abandoned by his father because his father possessed the Time Stone, which was the yellow one in the pictures, and
Copper didn't know who his mother was, only his father.
He wandered into the woods and scared, but still bigger than the average pup. Arya pops up, finds him shaking and shivering, and tries to move him to take him back to her pack of wolves. Her old girlfriend, Ambrose, I think I named her, came across him and tells Arya that they can't do that because he's a half-breed and was a human-trained pup. And, wolves hate dogs. Yeah, that kind of thing. Similar to how warriors are. They hate kitty pets and everything in their book series. Amazing book series. Read it if you haven't. Arya already felt left out of the pack because her mother was shot by a hunter in trying to save her, and this pack adopted her because of that, with Ambrose being her friend and later girlfriend. Arya fights this as she knows what would happen to her if she was abandoned in the woods as a pup. This is like slight teenage years in my eyes, I guess. Apprentice/newly come warriors for all my warrior fans out there.
Also, after Arya and Copper strike out on their own,
They find an old female dog who is like a grandmother but takes care of them nonetheless. Arya and Ambrose have an argument, with Arya bringing up their love and how Ambrose should trust her. Ambrose denies that there was any love, as any gaslighting abuser lover would, and banishes Arya from the pack for wanting to help an outsider. As if she has the ranking to do that!
Arya and Copper aren't just going to abandon the other here,
and decide to stick together and later properly, with more characters in 1 minute, introduce themselves as the Moonstone Pack.
Because Ivory and Arya beeped up to each other, this scared Copper off.
My guy hating conflict over here. Arya and Ivory leave the blind and defenseless Aspen behind and go search for him. They scream his name, running around bewilderingly trying to find him.
Anyways, they find Copper, and they also find Excalibur, who has tackled Copper to the ground with a shivering pup behind him, known as Amaryllis.
Excalibur is angry, with clouds covering the sun as it starts to rain. He notices Ivory,
and Copper screams for their help. Excalibur threatens him again before turning to Ivory.
He explained through anger and tears that a pack of wolves looking for the Bloodstone came to his territory and slaughtered the pack, including Excalibur's parents. Excalibur rescued Amaryllis, who was babysat by Ivory a lot in the pack, since Excalibur's parents wanted to get rid of her by sending her to cater to Excalibur, or just to be away. Ivory tried to coax Amaryllis away from Excalibur because he's not in the right mind, and Excalibur only gets more angry. Ivory and Excalibur fight a bit before she throws him into the woods, and they all run for the cave while it rains. Everyone settles down, the rain keeps storming, and they all lay down to rest. But Ivory just can't help but dream of stuff for the plot. She dreams of a flashback memory or sort, with the memory kind of blurred out. It has her mom and a she-wolf in it, known as her sister. Towards the end of the flashback, also the end of the episode, the blur clears and you can now see clearly that the small pup resembles Aspen. Boom. Plot twist. They're siblings. Not really. End of episode 2.
I just want to say thank you to literally everybody who waited for this to come out. This is a part 1, there will be a part 2, and if you are interested about reading Broken Moon, where I rebooted the series, I added a little bit more to it, then yes, it is on Wattpad for you to read. I don't update it every day, but I do let you know when I do update it. And not to mention, everything that was mentioned in this story has pretty much already happened in the Wattpad book series so far, so this isn't really spoilers, but the next episode will definitely be spoilers. Thank you to everyone who joined the Draw This in Your Style, which featured Ivory and her mother in the memory flashback, and also I'm thinking about uploading a better story time to actually establish the channel and the actual animation style I'll be doing it, before kind of doing another lazy one with part 2 of Broken Moon, but I don't know, I'll keep you guys updated on my Instagram story. Ultimately, thank you all so much for watching, thank you guys for supporting me up to this point, and I hope you stick around more for my future story times. Bye!